feel like Liv is just gonna listen for this music and be like, oh, someone new every time. Someone new. Also, Christian, who is probably hiding, he was like, oh, I'm not gonna do it.
Do the podcast?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna do a podcast.
He was out there playing cornhole by himself.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
He's just practicing for next year's tournament.
Liv was making fun of him because he lost all 3 games.
Bro, when you announced it was that weekend, I wanted to come because we couldn't make it last year, but I knew I wanted to support, and that was important, obviously, but I knew that I was not going to compete. Like, even if I went. And he was like, oh, we're going to sign up. Amara and I are going to we're going to register. We're going to play. And I went, bro, these guys are serious.
There's like 2 groups. Like, there's Amara and Christian, and some of the that are like couples just having fun, and some of those are even really good. But then there's people that are like freaking serious about it. They're getting like,
but like how
3
many
bags in the hole every time.
But how many people do you guys have playing in total?
We had 30. I think we had 32 teams.
Damn.
So
that's like a fucking
people.
March Madness tournament.
And then we so everybody starts in like a round robin with like four teams total. So you're guaranteed 3 games, and then we cut the field in half. So like, if you lose 2 or 3 games,
how long does that take? Thank you.
I think we started playing around 12 and we're done by 4. And we did like all the raffles and stuff in between.
Did you and Jordan play?
No. Just too much like running around and organizing.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
How much did you raise?
10, almost 11,000.
That's more than last year.
Last year we were on the dot at 11,000.
Oh.
Jordan's mom rounded up for us and donated some extra money.
There you go.
So we were right around the same amount as last year.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's sweet.
That is amazing.
Almost $22,000.
Yeah.
All the lung cancer research.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good for you guys.
Yeah.
If only we all had such motivation.
Dude, it's fun too. Like, so many of my friends enjoy playing cornhole, right? Like, any backyard game that you can have a drink in your hand.
It's because you're a dad.
Right.
You're a dad.
And all my
you're a
friends
dad
are
without
too.
being a dad. Right.
But you're literally just getting all your friends and family together and donating baskets, donating drinks, like all these different things. You're just having like a party.
So you basically had like 70, 80 people there.
Probably more.
32 games, 32 teams.
We probably had a little over 100.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, next year we're gonna have to plan a little better.
One of Jordan's agents from DC brought up Boston with a bunch of his friends from DC.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That one dude, the teacher?
Peter, yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. Brought a bus. Good for him.
It was fun.
Peter Paglia?
Yeah.
I can't picture him, but I know who he is. Interesting. Anyway, we on. This is pretty much what we do, except with a script. You haven't been on the podcast in like fucking forever.
Tell me when to come on. I'm there.
It's in Liv's email signature now.
Okay.
So all you have to do is email Liv, and you go, hey, and she replies and goes, hey, and then you just click the link in the email signature.
And I can just sign up for a day.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know that to be factual, but I'm pretty sure.
We'll go with that.
Yeah, we're working to get more systematic about that. The thing is, you just have to know you're gonna rap about whatever the content is.
Yeah, I like that. It's fun, like being off the cuff.
It's also fun to have like a topic to talk about, and now we don't have a topic to talk about.
And now what?
All right, well, I have a topic to talk about.
All right, let's do it.
So we just had Josh Hitch on.
Yes.
He's a newer investor. Dude, honestly, for investors world, Josh is one of these people that has all of his ducks in a row, and he asks so many questions, which is really to his benefit. Yeah. You guys also have investment properties.
Uh-huh.
Now you're at 3 total properties, 2 investments and 1 primary?
No, 3 investments, 1 primary. So
Where
4
is the
total.
Third one?
Jordan's parents' old house.
Where's that?
Tracy's Landing.
Oh. Why don't you just move into that?
Well, that's the plan. We want to move into it eventually, but we're not ready. It's a bigger house. It's 30 minutes from Annapolis. but we didn't want to miss the opportunity to buy it, so we bought it when we could, and we're going to rent it out until we're ready to move into it.
So
But
now
we
you have
love
4
Annapolis,
properties.
So we're not ready to leave. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. 4 properties, all conventionally mortgaged?
3 conventionally mortgaged, 1 seller financed.
1 seller financed. All right, so talk more about that. What are the terms? How did you negotiate it? What happened?
Yeah, so our situation was a little different for this family, right?
It's not, though.
It is-
How
it
many
is a
other
little
people
bit.
out
It is a
there
little bit.
are going through the
But-
same thing?
Right. So what I'll say is, for when it comes to seller financing, a lot of people think that you're not going to have to pay interest on the loan, that your family can just give you the money to purchase the house and then you're done with it. But the IRS sets a minimum interest rate that you have to pay. Now, it's going to be a lot lower than the 7.2% average today, but you do still have to pay interest on that money.
What is the minimum?
They set the minimum. It's different every single month.
Varies
so it varies
by. It probably follows in like a tract,
It
right?
does, yeah.
Is it like
It's
within
probably-
5%?
I would say it's probably within 3% of market rates. So, you're
So if
probably
market
looking at
rate was
4 to
6.5
5%.
to 7.5, you're looking at like 4 to 5 today. If that's rude. It's my fault. I didn't tighten it up.
Is this thing close enough?
No,
Think
not
everybody
really.
Can hear me?
You can get closer.
Hey.
Yeah, whatever.
Probably 4 to 5% right now.
So like if interest rates were to be, let's say interest rates go to 8.5, people would have to finance. The IRS would require them to finance 5.
Yeah, for the rate, 5%.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they publish it every single month, and there's a minimum interest rate.
So
The cool thing about it is you talk about like negotiating, right? Like if I was somebody negotiating it in that position, it's like, hey, yeah, you could sell the house now for whatever amount, or you could get a check from us every single month,
Right.
paying you for this home, right?
yeah, I
Which is
tried to
kinda
do
cool.
that. It didn't work. They
Yeah.
wouldn't take it. But I have tried.
Yeah.
I feel like seller financing takes a unique seller, it takes a unique buyer.
It does.
And so often we focus on like these weird situations where it's determined by it. Yeah, you could just force it up, lift it.
I'm not strong enough.
Well, then loosen it.
I don't know how to do this. I've never been on the podcast.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey. This is really funny. Go the other way. Keep going. Keep going. Now lift.
There we go.
Now you got to tighten it back
Yeah.
down. There you go.
All right, keep talking.
So, so seller financing. I did not know that there's a minimum. So,
Yeah.
how did you go about procuring the note, right? Because the deed is in your name.
Yes.
So then you got a note from the seller. How
Yep.
did you go about procuring that note?
You got to still work with a title company.
So the title company wrote the note for you. They wrote the deed for you. They did everything.
Yep.
And who collects the payment? Is it direct, like Zelle, Venmo, or is it like
However,
through a servicing company?
it's not through a servicing company. You can set up however you want, really.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a rental, but with no rights as an owner anymore. You're now the financier.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so now you guys have 4 properties.
Mm-hmm.
What's your long-term plan?
I mean, we want to buy more.
Okay.
What is the number? We don't have like a specific number. I would say our next goal is to buy another property by the end of 2025, and just keep taking it from there.
So what will that look like? Is it a vacation rental? Is it another condo in Ocean City?
It could be either. It just depends what opportunity comes along, right? So I like the idea of doing short-term rentals because you can use the property yourself if you want to.
True.
Right? But if a property came along that would be great as a long-term rental, then we're not going to say no to it, right? So
Thus is my life.
yeah.
That's how I have
So
every
our
single
goal-
one of them.
Right. Our goal is to get one, but we don't know what property is going to come along that's going to catch our eye. So it's kind of like, I don't want to put a label on it that we want this type right now.
Interesting. Interesting. When you move from your current property, why would you move into the Tracy's Landing property and not buy something else?
So you mean sell our Annapolis house and buy something else? Or
No,
saying,
rent your Annapolis house
Yeah.
and buy something else.
Oh, you're saying just because we technically don't have to buy a property when we're moving, so it's kind of like, go ahead and buy another one.
I mean, if you could finance a conventional mortgage loan for 5% down for a primary residence, why wouldn't you just go buy another property?
Oh, so don't move into the one in Tracy's Landing
Right.
and go buy another one.
Right.
Yeah, we could, but there's some emotional connection to that house.
No.
Yes. Yes. So it's a beautiful property too. Jordan's dad ran a pool company, and he built that backyard
Damn.
to be perfect. Right?
Yeah.
So we want to be able to experience that.
Yeah, I mean, I can certainly understand that. I think, you know, people don't focus enough on the opportunity. They focus too much on, like, the numbers. They focus on, oh, I need to get this return, or I can't buy this because it's going to have mortgage insurance, or
Yeah.
whatever their reasoning is. And then it's like analysis paralysis. I know people
Yeah.
that have been looking for 3 and 4 years. It's like, what are you doing in the meantime? Renting? I mean, bro, you can come rent my properties because rent is crazy right now. As a matter of fact, I have said this numerous times, I would not be able to afford the property that we live in today if not for the investments that I have made in the previous years, right? I mean, if you guys move into the Tracy's Landing property, that's going to be a beautiful opportunity, I'm sure. But you also have 2 other properties currently that you're renting, and then your Annapolis property would become rent, and it would be cash flow positive, I would imagine.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And then if you buy another long-term rental in another town, or short-term rental, sorry, you could create more opportunity. It just takes more cash to do that.
Right, right. And the analysis paralysis is a really good point. I love spreadsheets. I love numbers. I love looking at everything. Like, I'm on spreadsheets all the time. Dude, I'll make like spreadsheets for like vacations. You know?
Right.
Like, that's me.
That's
you know?
Amanda too.
So I love analyzing the numbers, but at some point, like you're saying, you just got to jump in. You just got to do it. Nobody's mad that they bought a house too early. They're not like, oh, I wish I bought my house later. Like, no.
Bro, can I tell
you're
you
just
something
glad
really
that
funny?
You bought your home when you did, or investment property when you did, right?
Something really funny. All right. So we've been working together for years. We go to buy this investment property. One of my agents brought it to me and was like, you should buy this. I went, fine, submit an offer, right? As all famous last words were. By the way, I didn't want to buy the Ravens tickets either.
Yeah.
This is what happened. I'm going to go on a detour. So we're at a charity event, Courtney and I. And somebody's giving away Pappy Van Winkle, right? Valued at $1,500. Yeah, it's a $1,500 bottle of whiskey. Well, so they start the bidding at $1,500. No one bids. They go down to $1,250. No one bids. They go down to $1,100. No one bids. $1,000. No one bids. $500. $400. $300. It fucking bid to $1,600. Then the next thing was like a $4,000 week at a vacation rental in Deep Creek.
So it's like you're like raising a paddle.
Yeah.
Thing. Okay. It's not like a silent auction.
No.
Okay.
Auction.
Yeah.
Right? So then, so the $4,000 thing, we'll start at $4,000, we go down to $3,500, we go down to $3,200, we go down to $3,000, we go down to $2,000, we go to $1,500, and I'm like, damn, if this gets to $1,000, I'm gonna fucking bid on it, right? No, it sold for $4,400. So I'm just like, people, stop it.
Yeah.
Ravens tickets, valued at $3,200. We can argue about that. 8 Ravens tickets, parking passes for the games, everything. You can use them for multiple games. You can split them up. One ticket to 8 games. You can split it. Doesn't matter.
So you get to pick the game.
You can choose whatever you want.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's valuable right there.
Right.
Yeah.
I think there was like one game that was blacked out or something.
Okay.
And it was like, it might have been the Steelers, for example.
Right.
I don't fucking know. And I don't give a shit.
Right.
But anyway. Lo and behold, $3,200, nobody bids. $2,700, nobody bids. $2,500, nobody bids. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. So it gets down to 1,500. And I was like, are we going to do this again? So they go 1,000. I was like, I'm fucking done. Let's go. And somebody goes 1,100 bid. 1,200. I bid. 1,300 bid. 1,400. I bid. Nobody bid. It was like right away, all this shit happened, and then just dead silence. And everybody's like, oh my God. And I'm like reading the fucking program again and again and again. I'm like, it's 8 tickets.
Are we sure it's 8
and
tickets?
it's parking. What the fuck am I missing?
Yeah.
But everybody in the room just thought that I was crazy. Anyway.
Wow.
So same
You're
thing
gonna get
happens.
a lot of messages from people that are watching asking
right?
about taking one of those tickets.
Take some tickets. All
Yeah.
right. So then, so something happened. Same thing. One of my agents came to me and was like, "It's this much money," and I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." And then the seller accepted it, and I was like, "All right, well, this is fucking bullshit." But okay. So I came to you and I was like, "Bro, we're gonna put down 20%. We're gonna do all this. What's the interest rate?" And you're like, "It's gonna be like 4.125." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And I remember being so upset. And I don't know, it was like 4 months ago, I opened my mortgage statement and I was like, God damn,
Right.
3.75% interest on an investment property? Let's do that again.
Crazy.
Right? Like, we just bought one in December. It was eight, I think. I think it was 8, even.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
I don't
Yeah.
remember. But it's like, we have one at 8.5. We have 8 even. We've got 3.75. We got 4.25. Like, and people are just like, I want to wait for the rates to drop. It's like, dude, you just got to do it because, like, fuck people. Like, this is a good deal. Like, let's go. Because you believe in the product that you sell. It'd be like saying, like, to the grocery store manager, do you believe in fresh produce? And they're like, nah, actually, I want tomorrow's produce. It's going to be better.
Right.
Like, do you not sell produce? Because I feel like if you believe in investing in real estate, you should believe in investing in real estate, not like what might be coming tomorrow.
Right.
It's just, I don't know. And actually, we just talked to Josh. Josh and I had a similar conversation because he was like, just the monthly cash flow and this and that and the other. I was like, bro, when we finally found his house, it was a couple things that I liked about it, but one of them was we're gonna get a new roof. We're gonna have a full modern townhome, 3 bedrooms, 2 and 2.5 bathrooms. And then you're gonna be able to rent for well over your mortgage, and it's built after 1978, which means no lead-based paint for the rest of your entire investing career. And he was like, well, I don't know. I was like, dude, do you believe in what you're doing? Like, this is a great opportunity. We're going to cash flow. We're going to do this. And he was like, offer. And now he's like, oh, man, I got locked in at 6.25. I'm like, fuck did you do that?
Right.
Or 6.75, I guess. But it was many months ago. And now the market is like, 6.75 for a really good qualified conventional or VA borrower.
Right.
So if you believe in the market, you just do it.
Definitely.
All right, so we haven't even been to your Ocean City property, but I digress. Where's your next short-term investment going to be?
I would probably say Ocean City again.
What part? Same part?
Probably.
Same building?
Probably not. I mean, maybe the same building if an opportunity came up.
What building are you in?
We are in Brazilian Sun on
I don't know what that
77th
is.
Street.
Random.
But anywhere Midtown or higher, I probably would stay away from anything below, like, I don't know, 28th Street.
Why
Just for
Ocean
personal
City and not the Outer Banks? Which, by the way, fun fact, Andrea thought the Outer Banks was in Maryland.
Last time I checked, it wasn't, but things could have changed.
I
since
mean,
last
erosion,
time I checked.
I guess. I don't
you
know.
never know.
Right.
So Ocean City, because I know the area. We like going to Ocean City. It's a short drive away in the case that we ever need to go down there. And the last thing, which is very important, is we found a management company that we really, really like. And this is our 3rd management company since having this property in Ocean City. This is our 3rd summer, right?
Damn.
So we've switched every single year. And not saying we didn't like the other management companies before, they did a good job, but didn't quite hit on all levels that we were looking for.
What are some of the things that you were looking for that you didn't get from your first 2 management companies?
So usually with a short-term management company, there's a few things that you can get, right? You can get like dynamic pricing, like the best dynamic pricing in the sense that the pricing is always changing depending on demand.
Okay.
It's not just a set rate, oh, this week is always $1,000 a week, right? Oh, there's more bookings, now it's $1,200 a week, right?
In my head, I thought that the platforms did that for you, like VRBO and Airbnb, like offer that service.
No. So our company has their own like built into it, essentially.
Who knew?
So you can either get like the best pricing, the best service, you can get like the best client experience, like they provide the soaps and the linens and all that, right? But most of the time you don't get all of those at a good commission rate, right?
What is the rate in Ocean City?
I think we're paying like 17 right now.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's way less
So
than I
you'll
thought it
see
was gonna
some
be.
that are up to 20, you'll see some that are down to 15, maybe even as low as like 12 and a half.
Sure.
So you can find a company anywhere in that scale, but what are they going to do for you? And I feel like we found a company that excels on all of them. Pricing's fair. They're strategic when it comes to listing our condo for different rent amounts. He's all into like the client experience and making sure that they're getting like branded soaps, like different things like that. There's a welcome package when they get there, right? Where some companies are like, bring your own sheets and towels and all that stuff. Like, nobody wants to do that when they go on vacation.
Bro, we went on vacation to one of these Airbnbs and it was 30% commission. But let me tell you, they brought us the welcome basket.
Yeah.
They brought us one basically every day.
Yeah.
Like snacks. There were Tums, little roll of 5 Tums in our welcome basket.
Right.
Which was like, this is so cool. Like just things that they thought of, right? They changed our sheets. They did our linens every single day.
Yeah, that's like
they
next level.
would straighten up. But I mean, it was also really, really a lucrative, expensive town.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that was merited.
Right.
But I just didn't know what Ocean City held.
Yeah, I don't think Ocean City has anything that extreme, but like you go out, like some places like in Colorado, like in Aspen and Vail,
that's
like
where
you
we
get
were.
some house. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, you get some property management companies that
Yeah,
are
like these
it's almost like you
Hispanic
have a
girls
butler.
walked in at like, 9:30 in the morning on the first morning, and I was like, oh, okay. And I didn't say anything to them. And then the second day they came in, and I was like, do you come every day? And she didn't understand English, so then I said it in my broken Spanish. And she was like, oh, yes, every day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, for me? And she goes, for everybody. And I was like, what? Like, we didn't elect to have this service, but it did make it like a damn. If I'm going to go back to Aspen, that it's a different level of experience. We paid through the nose to be there, and I just assumed that it was like Aspen,
Right.
but also it was everything. It was food, it was drink, it was the experience, it was the restaurants, it was the shops. So I feel like by hiring a higher quality property management, it's almost like investing in your town.
Right.
To be honest with you. And same thing where we do property management locally. I like to say that we have a lower tenant turnover than most. I said it the right way. I wanted to make sure.
Why?
Why do we have a lower tenant
Yeah.
turnover? Because of the relationship that we carry with the tenants.
Okay.
So like, we'll text the tenants, we'll call the tenants. We try to have our conversations with our tenants and landlords once a month. And I say that because we never do it once a month. But at least if we do it once every 2 months.
Yeah.
And then you get the phone calls to your landlord. It's like, hey, how's it going? How's Johnny? How is the baseball season?
Yeah.
What's going on? Are you guys thinking about doing this? Have you ever thought about investing in another property? And they're like, bro, I thought there was something wrong in my house. And you're like, no, not every call has to be negative.
Right.
When you do the same thing to the tenant, all of a sudden a rent increase phone call is a lot more accepted. You're able to have more conversations about like, hey, look, because we've gone through a lot this year and we certainly understand that you've been put out because you had to wait for the plumber or do whatever you did. We are so thankful we actually negotiated with the landlord to keep your rent the same. And then they're thankful for us. It's like we can work to benefit all parties. And by doing that, we have really great relationship with our tenants, really great relationship with our landlords, and we're able to kind of like pull the strings a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's investing in our market because we have one client in particular who's not local to Baltimore. and had a property management company prior to us, and all she would say is, "Oh, they would charge me. They would charge me." And even recently, she said, "Well, what will it cost me for that?" And I go, "Nothing." She's like, "Well, really?" And I'm like, "What do you pay us for on a recurring revenue basis?" And it just turned out that her previous management company was so cheap that while she may have made the same net profit year over year, it felt like she was getting charged every time something happened.
Just added stress, too.
Like she got charged a fee because the management company had to, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something with the water bill. Like they either paid the water bill on the tenant's behalf because the tenant hadn't paid it, and then the owner got charged a fee for doing that. I don't know. Just like every little $20 adds up, and all of a sudden it becomes,
dime.
Right. So I think it's just investing in your market. I think that's really great. I haven't been Ocean City in a long time.
Yeah.
But
and I mean, going back to your point, I got to imagine that's not very common in terms of what you guys are doing on the property management side. I mean, I've rented from private landlords. It's been a while, but the only message I ever got was, "Oh, we're sending air filters your way," right? And that was it. Nothing else. So,
bro, we've sent big shout out to Bacco Pizzeria for helping sponsor today.
They're so good.
Bro, food is cold and it's so fucking good. So Bacco Pizzeria is owned by a client and friend of mine, and he has been just such a big support. When he first opened, he's like, "Who do you know that needs to come here?" And I was like, "Bro, everybody."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, give me some names, send me some addresses, I'll send them a gift card." So I was like,
cool.
"Oh, okay."
Guess you
Well,
left
I
out
have
my
clients that live right down the street. Bro, you're in Annapolis, right?
Hey, we went there for my mom's birthday one year.
Oh.
The wine bar, not Bacco Pizzeria.
Oh, yeah, a little different.
Which is good, too.
The pizzeria is,
Yeah.
it's like casual and so good.
Yeah.
But I've sent it to like one client. He's like, "You don't have anybody else?" And I was like, "You know what? Send it up to this tenant." And then I called her. I was like, "Hey, I have a gift certificate coming your way." And she's like, "Really?" And I went, "Yeah, just you're great. Really appreciate you, blah, 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 blah." And it was a $100 gift card.
Wow.
Now, we didn't pay for that, but it's just merely like the thought. We're trying to be amicable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's awesome.
I don't know. I feel like our job as a property management company is to make you profitable. Mm-hmm. And what I tell people is, you're going to hate me. And I tell the tenant, you're going to hate me. But at the same time, like, let's start off amicably hating each other. And we all know that we're going to hate each other in the end. We can't hate each other that much. Right? Like, let's hate each other less.
Yeah.
So that's what I tell tenants when they first move in. I'm like, let's hate each other less. So we try to incentivize things. Like, it might even be a call like, "Hey, are you going to go down to the boat show?" And they're like, "What boat show?" And you're like, "You guys live in Annapolis, right?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, the Annapolis Boat Show, it's like the biggest thing of the year. Let me send you some information." They're like, "Oh, okay, cool." I'm like, "By the way, pay your rent."
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
you're 2 days beyond due, right? So, I don't know.
Do you guys manage any properties in Annapolis right now?
We have one.
You have one?
We have one in Annapolis, and oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to do this. We have one in Annapolis, 3 in Aberdeen, 2 in Bel Air, Parkville, Lutherville, Windsor Mill, Gwyn Oak, Canton, Fells Point. The center of Baltimore City, we have one. That's a really weird one. Hamden.
Nice. 10 to 15 total?
Yeah, I think last count was 17.
Nice.
Or 16. I'm not sure which. Maybe my property made 17.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm missing one. Oh, we have one way up in Carroll County.
Oh, okay.
Littlestown Pike. Didn't you help Jared through that?
Yeah.
Littlestown Pike has been rented for 3 years. Crazy. Same tenant. They've had nothing but problems, and they are nothing but wonderful.
And they stayed.
Well, they stayed
because
because we solved the problems expeditiously. We made their situation better, not worse. And we've offered them, like, we came out of pocket once or twice and gave them a $50 discount because it was like, we want you to be happy, and it's more beneficial to us to have the property occupied than it is to have it vacant.
We're all working towards the same goal.
Yeah. I say this commonly. When sellers want a discount on compensation, it's the same as when landlords want a discount on compensation. And we make no bones about it. Like, we're not the cheap company. But if I gave up my commission right in the beginning of talking to a seller or a landlord, immediately before we even started working together, what am I going to do for your money in the future? And so what I actually do is I actually am able to give up my compensation to make the transaction happen versus lowering my commission in hopes that a transaction happens.
Right.
So it's kind of interesting. We've been very, very fortunate, but our goal is to stay small and, just provide bomb-ass fucking service.
I love it.
Yeah.
Should we mingle a little bit?
How about it?
A lot of people staring at us right now.
Why are so many people staring? I feel like my stepdad would be really good on the podcast.
Yeah.
No? Look at John. What is he doing?
He's just such a social butterfly, even though he likes to say he doesn't like talking to people.
Right. Oh, by the way, who are the people that Christian is talking to right now? He sold them a house. It's in Canton, Courtney said. I have no idea who they are.
I don't know. I'll have to figure it out, though. I don't get to see enough people face to face, you know?
You have to attend more settlements.
I know.
You know, Joe Wielden shows up to settlement.
I bet he does.
In black on black on black.
Wow.
And I'm like, what is this, your settlement outfit? Whatever, to each their own.
Yeah.
I don't even show up to settlement half the time. I prefer to show up after settlement with a bottle of wine, like more casual.
Yeah.
I don't know, you're there to do work. We had settlement today. We were there for 25 minutes. Amanda goes, how long is this going to take? And I went, 15 minutes. She goes, well, what makes it take longer? And I went, you do.
Reading the papers.
And she goes, that's rude. And I went, well, I'm not going to read. Like, I've already read it. So,
right.
And then when we were done, Kaylesh, and bless her heart, like, she is so caring. But Kaylesh, she grabs all the papers. She's like, okay, guys, I'm going to grab you a copy. I want to give you a copy so you can have it before you're headed on your way. I want to thank you so much. We've got some things for you, but just hang out here. I'll be right back. And I was like, hey, Kaylesh, like, can you mail us the copies? Like, we're going to the client appreciation party. And she was like, you don't want a copy? And I'm like, nope, we're done. We're good. Let's go. I'm like, let's go. In, out, and done. Rolling on. All right, let's go make some people.
Let's do it.
What's up, guys? Thanks for watching. For more information on the housing market, Real Estate 101, how you can leverage your position in today's market, and so much more, click on the link below. If you like this video or have a burning real estate question you'd like us to answer, leave us a comment and let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode, and we'll see you again real soon.